Hello, everyone, and welcome to You've Retired, Now What? I'm here to help you navigate through these waters of deciding what's the rest of my life going to look like? What's my next phase going to look like? What have I not done that I wanted to do? I'm your host, Michael Kiffmeyer, and each week on this podcast, I give you tips and tricks, processes, and methodologies that can help you through your thought process. So we got a whole lot to talk about. Let's dive in. Hello, and welcome to Retired Now What? The show where we explore how to live your best life at every stage. I'm your host, Michael Kiffmeyer, and today we're going to dive into the area of goals and how important they are in retirement. But Michael, I'm retired. You still need to have goals. You need to have a sense of purpose every day. You need to understand what the importance of goals in retirement are exactly. It's often seen as the end of the line, but in reality, it's just the beginning of a new chapter. The days of waking up and doing 9 to 5 are behind you, but your day should have meaning and purpose. In fact, retirement is crucial to maintaining a sense of self and giving your life purpose. Goals provide a roadmap of daily activities looking forward to you connecting with your passions and your interests. Here are some types of goals to consider. Now we understand why goals are important. Let's talk about the type of goals you might consider setting in retirement. These can be broadly categorized into personal development, health, wellness, social connections, and leisure and hobbies. Personal development goals, this is a fantastic time to focus on personal growth. You know, before you didn't have time, now you have the time. Many question, should they pursue something at their age? Why not? Why can't you? To pursue what you want to do, you need to take care of your health, and that means regular exercise and eating well. It might be a yoga class. It might just be chair calisthenics, but you got to keep moving. You've lost some social friends, and you don't realize that once you moved away from working. So you got to replace those friends and those colleagues with, like joining clubs, and even online you can make social connections. You need to focus on your hobbies and your leisure time. It could be gardening, it could be traveling. You got to have a plan to make this happen. It just doesn't come about. So to set effective goals, there's a way to go about it, which is called SMART goals. They need to be specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time-based. Your goals should be clear and specific. I want to get fit is a good goal. And you've got to not only put it down on, say, possibly a journal, you also have to put a timeline to it to see what your progress is. These goals need to be achievable. You can't say I'm going to go to the moon, but you can say that I want to be better next month than I was this month. Perhaps you want to run a marathon. Set that goal. They have to be relevant. They got to match your interest and your values. A sample of this would be, I want to spend more time with my grandchildren. That's very relevant. They have to have a timeline. You have to watch this each and every week at least to see where am I towards reaching my goal. And if you're off track, let's correct it and let's get back on track. So here's a couple of clients I have. One of the lady is Jane, who's a retiree here in California. And she decided she wanted to stay active in her retirement. So she set the goal to walk a 5K every month. That's a goal that was achievable, and she made sure she did it each and every day. And then there was another gentleman that I worked with called Bob. He set a goal to take weekly guitar lessons. inside of 2 months, he was playing pretty well. So that's a goal. And then there's Susan. She wanted to give back to her community. She set a goal to volunteer at the local shelter twice a week. And that brought her joy, gave her a sense of purpose. So you also need to overcome challenges. And of course, setting goals is the first challenge you need to attack. Life happens, and sometimes it's easy to lose motivation. So here's some tips I would give you to stay on track. Begin small. Achieving these small goals can give you the confidence to go to the larger goals. Give yourself a break. Stay flexible. Life's unpredictable, and you can't operate like a machine each and every day. Help yourself find a support system. Share your goals with friends, family, and your colleagues that might be retired. And take time to appreciate your achievements, celebrate them. These are things that you can do on a regular basis. You know, they say that the happiest time in people's lives are when they were children. Remember all the things we said we were going to do, and when people get older. And now that you've retired, you got time for you. The only person you probably have to answer to is your significant other or your family. So you need to focus on those goals you always wanted to achieve in this life, but never quite had the time to do so. Well, you got the time now. There's no reason why you can't do it. People that say that I'm too old, I just, you're only as old as you feel. And I know that's a cliche, and that sounds like that's not something that, people do, but they do it. What are you going to do? Sit around or just kind of hang out? I'll guarantee you're going to get bored real quick. So by chopping these different goals in your life down to small bite-sized pieces, and you achieve one of them, and you celebrate. You say, I did this and whatever, and you keep that journal. That journal will help keep you on track. And I'm not suggesting in your retirement you got to live like a machine, like when you work. But what I am saying that if you do not have goals, and if you do not have a way to keep track of them, you're not going to achieve them. A dream is just a dream until you put it down to paper and give it a timeline. Don't tell yourself that you're too old. I mean, we've got all kinds of examples of people that started businesses in their 70s, 80s. Grandma Moses was 85 when she finally passed. Didn't start painting until she was in her late 60s, I think. And then there's Colonel Sanders. He didn't get his fried chicken recipe accepted until he's about 67 years old. Hey guys, real quick, if you've been struggling to answer the question, now what, after you've retired, I'd like to invite each and every one of you to my free Now What challenge that can help you reignite your spark, give yourself a sense of direction, try to decide exactly what it is you want to do in this next phase of your life. People are very smart and they get worn out. I know that. But eventually they know they got to do something more. And you need a purpose to get up and out of that bed each and every morning. I have tools, processes, and methodologies that I'm going to share with you in this challenge that I believe will help you clear your mind and decide exactly what you're going to do in this next phase of your life. You need to have a reason to get up and out of that bed each and every day. Otherwise, you're going to hang around. I read that 40% of retirees spend their time watching television. There's nothing wrong with television, but too much of it can be too much of it. And it keeps you from achieving things. And when you don't achieve things, you don't stay healthy. I'm a firm believer that those people that retire without a sense of purpose, they meet their grave sooner than they should because they don't have that inner drive. They're not optimistic, they're pessimistic. How many times have you heard people, older people sitting around complaining about their aches and pains? Yeah, we go through it. My doctor told me once you get past the age of 50, things start to go wrong with the body. And I've exercised and worked out pretty much my entire life. But I'll tell you, even I have some of that's catching up to me because the body's like a machine. It wears out and you need to take care of it. Your goal should be to live the best possible life that you can. We only get one. Why not make it the best? My mission in this podcast is to use some of the tools and processes and methodologies that I used in adult education to help you to achieve your goals. Folks, from my experience, they're very intelligent, but sometimes they get locked in their own mind. And our worst problem is these 8 inches between each ear. We come up with every reason why we can't do something. Athletes, they visualize what they're going to do, catch the football, hit the home run, run the race, whatever it may be, before they ever do it. And it's almost like an out-of-body experience when they finally do it because they've done it so many times inside of their minds. Why can't you do the same thing? There's no reason why you can't, okay? You start small, and then you start to grow up here, and then up here, and then guess what? All of a sudden, you're on the road with an RV, traveling the country, if that's what you choose to do. You need to stay healthy because, as we get older, the one things that we always want to do, or the thing that we value, is relationships and experiences. Make sure you keep yourself in the best frame of mind so you can actually engage and experience those relationships and those adventures, those experiences. Yesterday, I have a friend visiting from the Midwest, and I'm here in Northern California, and we took a ride all the way up through the wine country, not just Napa, but we have an area called Sassoon Valley, and just counting all the different places that manufacture wine. It was just absolutely amazing. On top of that, it was absolutely beautiful as well. Great trip, and those are the kind of experiences that you keep in your mind. And maybe you've got a favorite country you like to travel to. Why not go and investigate that as much as you can? One of the great things now that we have is with this technology and Zoom and Facebook, we can take our laptops, our iPads, and our mobile phones anywhere in the world and communicate with others. So why not enjoy your retirement the same way? But you've got to have goals that you write down so that you know exactly what you want to do and when you want to do it. If you plot out that you want to travel somewhere in a country, let's take Germany, for example, plot it out and decide everywhere you're going to see before you ever show up. Showing up and just say, show me what you got, that's not enjoyable, but you got enough time to plan it out now, and you could see everything that you think that might capture your interest you want to learn about. I think lifelong learning is a positive thing. I think it's positive because it keeps your mind sharp. It prevents dementia, and it helps you to be the best possible version of yourself. Things are happening so much now and so quickly that one needs to stay abreast of it and say, well, I'm too old to do that. I don't believe that, and I don't buy that. I was 37 years old before I ever touched a computer seriously. And then guess what? It turned into a career for me. And that, no matter what it might be, there might be something you've always wanted to try and you've never done it. Why, maybe you fail. That's okay. find something else. Let's try something else. Okay. Like I said earlier, you only got to answer to you. This is your time right now. And what do you want that to be? So to help you even further, I'm holding a free challenge here early in August, and it's going to be called the Now What Challenge. In that challenge, I'm going to share with you tools, tricks, process, methodologies that I've used to help teach some of the largest corporations in the world. And being able to assess who you are and what you're all about is that's going to be some work on your part. But I'm going to show you how to map the these tools to what you want to do and your assessment of yourself, and so that you can come up with some answers. And I'm going to tell you right here and now, they're not going to come overnight. It's not one-stop shopping. You're going to have to do some work. But, the greatest thing is if you're willing to do the work and work like no others have, then you're going to be able to live like nobody else has as well. We don't know where this inflation's going that we're currently going through here in 2024, but there's things that we can do to plan, for future inflation and prices as well. I always encourage you to go back to your financial planner. You can't set it and forget it because the rules change, administrations change, and where's that going to leave you? It's going to leave you high and dry if you're not prepared for it. And along with that preparation, you need to make sure you stash about 3 months worth of income away. This is your cost of living, what it's going to cost you to live from month to month, so that if you do have an emergency of some kind, you're at least prepared for it. I want this podcast to be a community that it's very interactive. And if there are topics that I have not covered, I surely would ask you to interject and ask questions. Say, Michael, you covered this, this, and this, but I surely like to know about this. And if I don't have the answer, I'll find it for you. I'm a pretty good researcher, and we'll get those questions answered for you. I want to help others, and I want to give back, and that's what this podcast is all about. I appreciate you for listening. I want you to keep that challenge in the back of your mind, the Now What Challenge. I should have the exact dates and times out here in about a week or so, and I make sure I post them. If you need to contact me in the interim, please reach out, Michael Kiffmeyer, and my last name is spelled Kiff, 2 F's like Frank, Meyer. I'm on Facebook, I'm on LinkedIn, I'm on Instagram, Twitter, I'm even on TikTok. Reach out to me and I'll get back to you, and perhaps I can help you stay motivated so you make this life the best life that you ever dreamed of. Thanks for listening. Hey, before we conclude this episode, I'd like each and every one of you to know that your thoughts, your dreams, and what you would like to get out of this podcast is valuable to me. My whole goal and my mission is to serve you like I have served others. For years, I had taught major corporations how to use learning as a competitive advantage. I want to do the same for you. So please leave your notes or reach out to me, and I want to gear this podcast towards your wants and needs and help you as much as I can. Again, this is Michael Kiffmeyer, and you've listened to You've Retired, Now What? I want to thank each and every one of you for listening.